Hello and welcome to this A1Sirius channel presentation video. This channel is primarily oriented towards presenting Blender tutorials. There are three playlists: the Absolute Beginners Blender 3D tutorials, the Accomplished Beginners Blender tutorials, and the Blender 2.6 topics. All of these tutorials are compatible with Blender 2.6. Let's first look at Absolute Beginners Blender 3D tutorials. There's a total of 27 videos and a total of 21 tutorials with some additions. There is, for instance, the 1A tutor, which is primarily an upgrade from the installment of Blender 2.5 to Blender 2.6. There's also a number 8 called Absolute Beginners Blender number pre-8 tutorial, and that is a adaptation to or in the process of creating these tutorials, I've noticed that there are some issues that need to be addressed, and I had the opportunity to do that in this one tutorial. So the tutorials preceding number 8, which is this one, are mostly concerned with, except for installing Blender, getting accustomed to the user interface and learning how to use the basic functions in Blender. Then we have a couple of modeling tutorials, actually 3 of them, a simple animation tutorial, and a materials tutorial. In other words, how to put color on your objects. Then there is a small project. It's a 4-part tutorial, and there are some Bezier curve tutorials, some texture tutorials, and finally a rendering tutorial, how to render an animation to an image sequence. Let's move on to the Accomplished Beginners Blender tutorials. This series is, you can say, a continuation of the previous, in the sense that we pick up from where we ended. There's some more texture, there's some animated texture, and some simple modeling tutorials. And in number 3 is where this series of tutorials starts up the project of creating a neighborhood and illuminating it. First, we create a small figure, then a house with doors and windows, then a car, a neighborhood, and illumination. So that is, in a way, a unit of learning that allows you to go from something simple to a little bit bigger scene and examining how you can illuminate it, how lighting affects it. Then there are some particle system tutorials. Start out with using the explosion modifier, which requires that you have a particle system. And then we have some hair tutorials and a text and a final particle system tutorial. Let's look at Blender topics. This playlist, hello, welcome to we will have to back up. There you go. This playlist is geared towards the intermediate or accomplished beginner. We talk about how you can shape text, depth of field, and rigging. There will probably be more tutorials eventually, but this is what's here for now. And of course, rigging might be one of the topics that is most interesting for the aspiring animator. And this introduction allows you to understand the interplay between the model and the rig, and I've kept the model and the rig as simple as possible to allow the viewer to get a grasp of the fundamental concepts of rigging and animation with an armature. And then just for fun, we have the rewards and recognition playlist, where I explain how you can become the possessor of a diploma as a accomplished Blender beginner. This is just for fun, but it seems to be quite enjoyable for the people that pick me up on this offer. It is for free. And of course, everything here is, YouTube licensed, or all these videos are released on a standard YouTube license. The channel is monetized, which means that there will be ads appearing in or around the videos. Just like so many other YouTube channels. I hope you will enjoy this experience. I hope you will find this as a useful resource for you if you want to learn Blender. And I'm quite aware that there are many, many others that do Blender tutorials, and there's also many other resources all over the internet, and not of least blender.org itself. The contribution that I bring in these tutorials are that for the absolute beginner, it's a path to learn some of the basic concepts that allow you to more freely deal with the more advanced concepts of Blender later on. And from what I understand from my users up to this point is that many that do these tutorials, that go through all of them, or a large portion of them, feel that it's helping them to more quickly get accustomed to the use of Blender. And that's my hope, that's what it will do. So I thank you for your time and for your listening attention. And I hope we can meet again in one of my tutorials, or over a comment or something that you would like to discuss regarding Blender. Thank you, and have a good day.